got drugged by the owner of.
What did it say on the check?
People were like urinating on each other. I quit, I quit, I quit. I was like, I want to die. So doing porn, getting paid for sex, then doing these bartending stuff. And then there was a high profile company in the fashion industry that would have these parties, and they would bring out guys and girls to do these parties. And, the girls will walk around naked, guys will walk around, in boxers, whatever, serve everyone drinks. And I went there. It was in Paris. And, long story short, I went there and got drugged and raped by the owner of a very well-known fashion, what used to be the CEO of a very well-known fashion organization. And when that happened to me, I thought, it's my fault. This is what I signed up for. This is who I am. And then I started like trying to sabotage. I was like towards the end of my career, so it's like started trying to sabotage myself, and started making a pretty clear plan to take my life. And you kind of looked up, like, I had this pretty strong pain medication, like how many pills would do the trick. Okay, well, take that number, maybe add 2 more, and I'd put them on the counter, and I'd separate them. It's like I took, old school vitamins. I used to take like the Vitapack, like an animal pack or whatever. I'd take like 40 vitamins at once. So I'm like, I knew like I take a lot of pills at once. So I separated them so I could make sure I'd get them down, swallow them, I wouldn't chicken out. And I set them up like that. Time after time after time. I just could never do it. And then this one day, I was filming in Atlanta, and it was this disgusting shoot. Like, people were like urinating on each other, like spitting on my face, in my mouth, stuff like that. And I'm just like, what have I become? I was like, I want to die. Can't undo what I've done. Got, more money than I thought I would ever see. Growing up, food stamps, trailer, government housing, like, got a nice, Breitling collection and nice home, do all the stuff. But I'm miserable. And this is what I've made of my life. There's no hope. There's no hope. There's no way out. But I needed someone to agree with me. So I got paid from that scene, and the directors on the memo of the checks, they would always write something grotesque. Like, if the title of the movie wasn't sexually explicit enough, they would write something being antagonistic, knowing that you're going to have to give that check to someone. And I normally wouldn't do that. I would just ATM, Dropbox, anything other than hand it to a person. But on this day, that was going to be my formula. I put the water on the counter. I lined up the pills. The Wachovia that I banked at was across the street from the place that I lived. And I walked over there, had the check, waited in line, handed the check to the teller, and I waited.
What did it say on the check?
It's like some kind of gang bang or like something like that. And I wanted that person to, some look of disgust. Best case scenario, that would say like, how sick are you, or something. She said nothing. Deposited the check, handed me the receipt. I got tears streaming down my face, and pale, like, shaking. And I defeated because I didn't get what I wanted. I didn't know what to do. And then I look up and she had walked around the counter and she put her hand on my shoulder and she said, "Joshua, are you okay? Joshua, can I get you some help?" And Shawn, that was the first time I had heard my real name in 18 months.
Wow.
And it just like woke me up. And I beelined it to my place and I called my mom. And I hadn't, my mom had been calling and texting me, didn't respond. I thought, she's just reaching out to me because she feels like she has to, but I've lost the right of being her son. I've disqualified myself. I think it was my pride, my shame. But I called her. And when she answered the phone, she lit me up. She, good Southern mama, she cussed me out, she was worried about me. But then she said everything that I didn't think she would. She said, I will always love you, and you will always be my son. And you're so much better than the way you're living. Please come home. So right then and there, I called everybody I needed to call. I quit. And I subleased my place pretty quickly and left LA. But like when I left, I didn't think I could change, and I didn't have it wasn't any kind of spiritual awakening. But I do think that was the Holy Spirit in that bank. But very quickly I thought, okay, what do I have? What do I have that I can use? Okay, well, I'd been doing CrossFit for a while. I got a level 1 certification. Maybe I can coach CrossFit. I got a exercise science background a little bit, strength conditioning, understand that. Maybe I can get into that. And then I did, the formula that I knew that worked. Find a good mentor, get, double down, work really hard, get some credentials, build a kingdom for myself. And, I was working with this guy, Jason Davidson. He was the strength conditioning coach for the Carolina Hurricanes. He was leading the Thor program at Fort Bragg, plugged me into some right circles, vouched for me. And all of a sudden, I had, what I like to say is I put enough good dirt on my bad dirt so I didn't look dirty. Because I couldn't change. I didn't believe I could. But what I thought I could do is I could manage people's, perception of me. And if I did enough good, it would outweigh the bad that was impossible for me to run from. And I spent about 2 years doing that.
I mean, before you left the industries, I mean, was it a buildup of misery or was it literally that one scene? No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.